Alright, you guys, so the fanny pack is out. Alright, when the fanny pack is out, I mean business. Hair is pulled back, FIYAH Life crew neck on the under. We mean business today, okay? I got my mask, don't worry, there's no one around me. So let's talk about the weekend. I was at home. Highlight from the weekend, the Janet Jackson documentary. Comment below if you watched it, or if you're about to watch it, it's on the DVR, or maybe you're about to watch it again. It was so good. It was a 2-night event, and it was told by Janet Jackson herself. And if you know me, you know I love Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson was the very first concert I ever went to in my entire life. I was about 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10, when I went, and changed my life forever. I went to the Janet tour in the 90s. Yes, that's how old I am. I was in about the 4th or 5th grade. I have to look at the ticket stuff. But anything Janet does, she cannot do wrong. Her music catalog, acting, dancing, oh my God, production, writing. She's more than a triple threat. She's like a 5 threat. I don't even know what that would be called. But Janet Jackson is the GOAT. What's better than the GOAT? She's that. So you guys all know I love Beyonce, but to me it's Janet at the very top. Go watch that documentary by Lifetime and A&E, and let me know what you think, because that Janet Jackson documentary was the truth. I laughed, I cried, I danced, I sang. It was so good, and there was a lot of footage that we have never seen in there, as well as a lot of interactions with her and Michael. Those are the parts I got more emotional with, was the parts with her and Michael. And because if you also know me, you know Michael is up there too. That whole family is just amazing, but Michael and Janet, combined and separately, their talents have just impacted my life, and their music has been the soundtrack to my life, as well as many other people in this world. But I think when it comes to like go-to music, Janet Jackson is definitely like my go-to, and she just doesn't hold back. Like, she has revolutionized music. She has always made bold statements, not just with her fashion, her hair, her lyrics, but also with her visuals. I mean, let's go back and watch every single one of her videos. And then you go watch videos today of a lot of R&B singers, the choreography, the TikTok dances, like it all goes back to the Janet Jackson days. And then you go look at who her choreographers were, Paula Abdul, Tina Landon, the list goes on and on. You just gotta go watch the documentary. It was so good, and I was playing Janet Jackson all weekend. No different from any other weekend, but this time it was just straight up Janet Jackson the whole time. And I can't say enough. I mean, there was low-key of a spoiler, but Barry Bonds was in the documentary, and I love me some Barry Bonds. That was one of my nicknames back in the day when I used to play at this park, because I would just hit bombs. But yeah, that was like a random surprise, Barry Bonds. But there was a few other guests in the documentary, but other than a few guests that there were, Janet Jackson told everything. It was her story. There was some footage that her ex had filmed over a decade that they shared with us. You got the behind the scenes of Scream and her thoughts and feelings behind it and what was going on, and it just makes you look at music and artists like different. Like, everything has a story, and that's why I feel like it's so important to document your story and your life. It doesn't matter if you're famous or just a regular old person like me with ambitions and goals, and she was definitely able to just grab hold of her story and her narrative. And as we all know, like, her story has been told by so many different people over the years, and you just gotta go watch it. Even if you're not a Janet Jackson fan, I think you will become a Janet Jackson fan after watching it. she just deserves all of the praise and accolades that she's ever gotten up until this point in her career. You know, the whole Justin Timberlake nipple situation was really blown way out of proportion. Was it appropriate? I don't know, it just depends on the eye. It was also so long ago, but just imagine you work every day tirelessly for your entire life since you were a child, right? You sacrifice your childhood, you sacrifice friendships, relationships, school, education, your goals, your dreams to pursue this one thing, and you're great at it, and you excel, and you excel beyond any measures you may have placed in front of you, or any milestones you may have, you know, thought you wouldn't have achieved, and you achieved them. Just for all of it to be wiped away from one incident that was blown way out of proportion, way out of proportion. And because he was a white man and she was a black woman, the media just ran with it and villainized Janet Jackson tremendously. And she wanted us to apologize to Justin because she forgave him. Spoiler alert. Yeah, no. No. Back to the Janet Jackson documentary. Just go watch it, you guys. Like, tell me what you think in the comments if you watched it. I loved every second of it. I want to watch it on a big screen. I just watched it on my iPad, so I want to watch it. Like, I saw someone was watching it in a movie theater. Like, did they rent it out? Did Janet Jackson sponsor that? Like, how did they do that? Like, I want to watch it in a movie theater. My only complaint was that I had to watch commercials. And at this day and age, I pay extra for no commercials. I have all the streaming sites, so it was like an exercise in patience having to like sit through those commercials, because I was so excited I watched it live. I forgot that there would be commercials. So that was my only reservation about the whole documentary, was that yeah, commercials. But other than that, it was produced excellent. Her crew of friends was a testament to her character and her love for people, because the people that spoke on her behalf in this documentary, or that were interviewed, were people that were in her life for multiple decades. You know, they're her actual day ones. And Janet Jackson don't play, and I think that was a testament to her and who she is, because working in that industry is not, you know, for the weak or the faint of heart. And she definitely kept her crew tight and seemed to have navigated every situation the best way she could. And for those that hate on her or don't like her, go inward. Like, what is wrong with you? Honestly, truly. Like, I want to know, like, when you see a person like Janet Jackson, a successful black woman since birth, like she was born into this industry, and to see her career and her goal and the trajectory of her life, just the way it's all panned out, like, how could you hate on that? Like, don't be a hater. Like, let it motivate you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Janet Jackson documentary was so good. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, I should have been talking this way the whole time. But it was so good. Stamp of approval. I loved it. It was so good. Let me know what you thought. Comment below what you thought about the whole Janet Jackson documentary. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am one of Janet Jackson's #1 fans. Like I said, it was the very first concert I went to, and that will forever be ingrained in my memory, in my DNA, in my rhythm nation, all of it. She is the best, the GOAT, all of it. And go stream it. Go stream that Janet Jackson documentary. Tweet her, stream her music, watch her movies, watch her shows, support her. She's an icon living, and I'm so grateful for Janet Jackson's music, because when I meet her one day and ask her how did she connect with the Boo-Yah Tribe and what were her thoughts about meeting The Rock, you know, my uncle. Because, you know, like, that was another thing. Okay, before I wrap this up, that was another thing. Is like Janet Jackson represented or made sure cultures are represented, whether it was in a subtle way or in an obvious way. Like, if you go look back and watch all of her videos, like, she represents the world and allows culture to shine through her content. Like, even down to one of her most recent videos, I think it's with Daddy Yankee. It's just like the colors, the vibrancy, the embracing of culture and different cultures throughout the world. And it's not in like in a appropriating way. It's in a tasteful, you know, respectful way. So I love that about Janet. But she had the Boo-Yah Tribe, and that's the way love goes. Even the leading guy, he was half Samoan, and The Rock in I think it was a Tyler Perry movie. But anyway, go watch it. It was a good one. Until the next one. Peace.